Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xatheria. I am your host, Sheila, and today we are going to take a deep dive into a very special geometry that I am calling the seed of light. And we'll get into the magic frequencies that generate this shape in the oscilloscope. Alrighty, so the seed of light expands upon the foundations laid by the seed of life. So we have the seed of life, which consists of 6 overlapping circles, and we have the seed of light, which is formed by interwoven lines that generate unbroken cyclical patterns of flow movement, creating a self-sustaining rotational dynamic. So the path of movement in the seed of light transitions in this manner, perpetual movement, whereas the seed of light is a slightly different geometry that does not allow the same type of perpetual flow. As you can see, when you hit this center point, you would need to bend at an angle in order to continue the flow. And now we're going to look at the two of them overlaid. I'll call this one the seed of life light. And as you can see, the flower pattern in the middle is an identical geometry. This geometry is the exact same. The only difference are these little spiral curves in the seed of light that allow for this perpetual motion movement. As you can see, there are some crop circles that depict this particular shape, and this depicts that same floral shape in the middle of what's almost a Vesica Pisces, but has a slightly different geometry for each one of the circles here. And we see the flower of life pattern spanning through generations of time in ancient temples and texts, and we haven't really had a very big introduction to the seed of light. And I think it's a very important geometry as it depicts what is called the perpetual motion geometries. Okay. And these encapsulate the essence of perpetual motion physics, which reflects how energy flows continuously through cycles without losing momentum. It's almost like an atomic motor. So, one of the key components to understanding the seed of light is the concept of rose curves. So, these mathematical curves, graphed on a polar coordinate grid, are characterized by their petal-like structure, and they mirror cyclical phenomena found in nature, like the orbital paths of planets or electron orbital clouds within an atom. The specific curved spirals in these shapes are used in various applications to produce perpetual motion thrust machines and energy-saving devices. So the concept of perpetual motion shapes ties into a field of machines designed to sustain their motion indefinitely. The designs use momentum from one phase, like falling or descending part of a cycle, and that drives the momentum for the next phase, perpetuating a self-sustaining cycle. A metaphor for how we'd all like all of our systems in reality to flow with the least amount of energy loss. So another application for rose curves is their use in Risley prisms. Risley prisms are optical devices that manipulate light through varying angles. For example, they were used in the microscopes of the legendary scientist Royal Rife. The Risley prism contains two rotating prisms cut at specific angles. A beam of light is passed through the prisms, which are rotated to generate refraction angle ratios that allow the precise control over the manipulation of the light path to focus specific wavelengths precisely. So these rose curve patterns allowed Rife to direct light beams in specific ways, concentrating energy at particular points or creating patterns that would enhance the interaction of light with the microscopic organisms. Rife's belief was that specific frequencies could destroy the pathogens by resonating with the destructive harmonics of their molecular structures. So, in looking for the correspondence between these rose curves and their corresponding colors, there was no clear mapping, but in theory, red and orange light refracts the least, so red could correspond to shapes with less petals, where colors with shorter wavelengths like violet refract more light and therefore would theoretically generate flowers with more petals. So many people make the mistake of attempting to harmonically downstep the frequency of light measured in terahertz or nanometers, and they find the corresponding frequency in hertz. However, this way of translating color into a frequency, it seems a little bit flawed because light and sound are two different types of waves. Light is an electromagnetic wave and sound is a mechanical wave, so their refraction angles and the speed of travel of each of these types of waves are different and need to be accounted for in the translation process. A possible way to more accurately translate these wavelengths could be by using Snell's law, as that describes how to translate the various refraction angles into different wave propagation systems. So Snell's law describes how the angle of wave propagation changes as the sound or light wave passes through different mediums. All of this is worthy of future research, so if anyone comes up with any answers, please let me know in the comments. So back to the seed of light. So this is a magical geometry, and I first found the frequency combination that generates it when I was exploring the plasmoid unification model, line 8, and that line is called elemental frequencies. The original two frequencies I used are 1518.75 and 303.75. So this combination of frequencies gave me the ratio that I needed, and once you have the ratio, you can plug in any frequencies and you'll get the same shape. What really matters here is the ratio when you are generating a geometric shape in an oscilloscope. So now we're going to get on Ableton and we are going to generate the seed of light pattern. We're going to use two frequencies, 32. Next thing we do is we take 32 and we multiply it by 5. 32 times 5 is 160. We create the seed of light pattern. This can be done with any two frequencies that are separated by the ratio of 5. There are other geometries that can show up with this ratio of 5 when you have different values for the z or time or phase axis. Check it out. First thing we're going to do is play 32 hertz, and then I'm going to slowly bring in 160 hertz. At the end, I'm going to bring in a much higher harmonic, and that is 8,192. So as you're watching this geometry unfold, make sure to imprint your intention, as these geometries have so much power as multi-dimensional antennas that can imprint the quantum field with your intention. And the intention I am programming into this geometry is the intention of motivation and energy that you can use in your daily life to help you stay motivated in whatever you're doing. So let's get into it. Thank you so much for joining me this week on Xatheria. I'm going to end this video with a couple quotes that I really like. Both of these are from the book Keys of Enoch, channeled by J.J. Hertog. So the first quote is, Color and sound are the most important energy structures for the imprint embodiment of the soul form. They are the modeling ground structures which shape the visible and invisible Nogon shells from all pre-existing geometries. One more quote. This book talks a lot about frequencies. The Word of God unfolds in units of 5, 25, 125, etc. So just so you can remember, these are the ratios we used to generate a seed of light patterns. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you next week, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Till next time.